Okay, so the new Demon Meliodas banner just released on Global, and I've been having some questions on Twitter if people should summon for him. And the answer is pretty simple. If you want just a short answer, the answer is, in my opinion, everyone should skip. And I'll give the reasonings, But if you're a whale, I just can't. I can't, tell you what to do if you're gonna spend money. But as someone that plays the game for months and knows the usage of characters, this banner is very low value. I think everyone should be summoning in high value banners, and this banner doesn't have the value for me, for even me that spends money to summon on. I will be skipping, like I skipped Hellbroom. But I don't main global, but still, it's just a bad banner. But I'll explain why. If you didn't watch my showcase for Red DML, it's that video right there in the top left. It will pop up. It will pop up at the end of this video. But if you want to check more of that video, like him actually being used, it will be in there. But Red DML is a one activity unit. So what happened when Red DML released on JP was that he released very terrible. He was a very bad unit. They actually buffed him. So if you go on what he does, right? This is the Grand Cross database. If you go on what he does ignites and stuff, and he seals healing. Before, even at level 3, it would only apply just one ignite. And he had like lower stats and everything. They had to even buff him because he was so bad. And then he still wasn't good enough. They buffed his passive. Before, you used to be increases the crit chance if an ally dies by 50%. Now it's per ally died, it increases by 50%. And that makes a difference because even though DML has 50% crit chance, and like you would go for 100%, right? Even if one ally dies, going over 100% crit chance matters because of crit resistance. Or is it crit defense? I think it's crit resistance, which lowers the chance of being crit on, right? So let's say DML has like 100% chance to crit. You'd think he would always crit, right? But if you're facing an enemy that has like 60% crit resistance, like Gopher, he would only have a 40% chance to crit over Gopher. And that's every character. Every character has crit resistance in somewhat, So let's say 2 allies die, now he has 150% chance to crit, so that counters 60% from Gopher and he would have 90%. So it was a big buff. And even still, Red DML only functions in one activity. After he released, they made a raid for him, which is a raid that just came out on Global. They knew what they were doing. They released Red DML with the raid, right? They made a raid basically made for him, because he had nowhere else that he was good. He's not good in PvP, he's not, you can use him in some story chapters, but you're better off using other units. You're better off using counter melee, because you can't use both, you have to choose either one or the other Meliodas. He's just not good for general use, not good for farming. He's only good for the Crimson raid, or how Global calls it, the Howlex raid, which I'll have to start adapting. He's only good for the Howlex raid, which honestly, there are other options. I've mentioned this in the actual showcase for him, but Jericho is an insanely good option for the new raid. She is very, very good. If you can get a level 3 attack for her, which, most people should have summoned for Gopher. I did recommend summoning for Gopher in Gallon, right? If you do have Gopher, which if you don't, he's going to be in the coin shop in 2 weeks. Hopefully, everyone can buy him from the coin shop. After that, we'll assume everyone has him. After he's in the coin shop, right? But if you have 2 Gophers and you can rank up every card, Jericho level 3 on the Crimson raid one-shots him if she crits. He just one-shots him on like the first health bar, and then the second health bar. I mean, that's like a good Jericho, right? That's like a good SSR gear Jericho. But still, it would do like insane damage either way, right? So you can use Jericho. Your ally could maybe use the melee himself, and you use Jericho. You can work around not having him for the next 3 weeks, because this banner is gonna leave in a week, right? This banner has the end date of 21st of April. Today is the 14th, so he will be leaving in a week. And after 2 weeks, after the banner leaves, he will be added to the coin shop. I do recommend buying him. I do recommend buying every coin shop unit. So he will be 1 week after Gopher. And after you buy him, he's already there. If you summon for him, you do like, I don't know, 150 gems. That's not so bad, but you're still gonna be like, oh, I could have just bought him, you know? That's how I feel about Gopher. Even though I did summon for him, because at that point, if you don't know, I went like 1.5 thousand gems for Gopher. Stupidly, I did. But when Gopher comes in the coin shop, I'm gonna be like, I could have waited. I could have waited. But still, you know, he's just a one-man trick, and he is only used for the Crimson Demon. Now, can I get a level 70 unit so I can see? Okay, so you will need 20 of the years. Right now, you can't actually go for level 80, which is the max cap on JP. They are probably gonna add the level 80 in like 2 or 3 weeks. So honestly, until then, you don't even need to do Crimson that much, because compared to like horns and years, right? You use much more of those. So in the scale, right, of how many raids you need to do for each material, Crimson is still gonna be the least used one for a little while. At the end, like when every character gets to 80, you need to use 50 of each. So it's very balanced. You need to use 50 horns, 50 wings, and 50 ears anyways. They call it ears, right? Yeah, they do. You need to use 50 of each, right? But right now, you're only going to use just 20 of the Howlexes. So it's like, you don't need to do that raid too much. And I would only really recommend 75ing the most usable the most better characters that you have, right? Maybe, you know, Coin Shop Gopher, Blue King, you know, whatever you use, Arthur, instead of, you know, going for every character 75 anyways. And then maybe whenever you do get ready their melee, because he is the better option for the raid. Don't get me wrong, he is. It's just that even still, you could be using someone else. Red Nunchuck Bond is a good option as well. So skipping this banner. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention. So next week, we're probably gonna get this banner. So I did make a video on it. It was leaked, right? That this banner will come out, which means that Escanor is gonna be delayed another week probably. And like I said, Escanor is the next unit if they follow the GP schedule, which they could not if they want to be pricks, but it should be the next unit. And Escanor is the most valuable summonable unit Global will have for a long time. I'm telling you, until Dariari releases. Until Dariari releases, which should take like 3 months or more. He will be the most valuable summonable unit in the game. I don't count Gopher because it's a coin shop. But he will be for a long time. He is good for everything. You know, you could use him on raids. As you can see right here in the chart, right? He's not the best for raids, but he's still usable. You know, Gray Extreme, you better, like, this is for JP, right? This metric right here is for JP. For Global, because you don't have that many options, he wouldn't be so bad for the raids. But he is super stupid for PvP, which is, you know, the most competitive activity. While, you know, Red Demon Melee, he's only good for the Crimson, that's it. He's super good for PvE, he's super good for, you know, whatever you want to throw him, he's super good at. You know, I recently made a video on his, because Escanor recently got UR gear for, on JP, right? If you don't know how UR gear works, I would have to take a long time to explain, but when you UR gear, it only works in a named character, right? So we finally got one for Escanor, and like on PvP, he just annihilates. He's just so good. Even like to this day, you know, like almost 6 months after release, Escanor, well over 5 months, right? Escanor still annihilates on PvP. And you know, like I said, he's really good for PvE activities as well. Any blue type of PvE activity, like story chapters that come out, I prefer using him over any other green in the game. Maybe after, you know, Estarossa. But Estarossa is a different case, because he's a very defensive unit. But his damage is off the charts. His ultimate does so much damage. Like, yeah, Diameli also does insane damage on ultimate, don't get me wrong. But you need the enemy to be debuffed. And a few times you'll see, like right here, he has a very low multiplier, right? But he does triple damage if the enemy is debuffed, so to compensate. And not only he compensates, but he does insane damage, right? If you get like triple of 385, that's a lot of damage. But the thing is that a few times you just want to do the ultimate, you can't debuff the enemy, and that happens. Like, that doesn't happen as often, but it does happen sometimes, and it's very annoying. So if you like, that's what I'm doing. personally, it's what I'm doing and what I recommend. Waiting for Escanor. Because this Meliodas will be in the coin shop, Escanor will not be in the coin shop. Escanor will be in the Generous SR pool, so you will be able to pull him later, but you want to pull later the dupes. You want to be, you know, summoning for other banners and pulling the Escanor dupes, because the more dupes you get for this man, you see his multipliers go up, like he goes up until 1440% with a Merlin Fate, and it's so good. It's so good. I get a hard on every time I think of Escanor. He's crazy. By the way, the reason why Escanor is so good is just this one stat. This one stat right here. Pierce rate 80% base. That's like 90% of what makes him so good. His cards are also good, like 500% against ult gauge. Like this ability of getting ult gauge is so stupid. Any unit that has this and is a good unit is just a crazy ability, right? But 80% base pierce rate, and then you have the awakening system, which also gives you more pierce rate, and then you have like you can put Gopher, which also gives more pierce rate, or you can you put weapons that also give pierce rate, and you just have like a lot of pierce rate on a unit that has like a pretty high attack stat as well. So he just it's so good. I love using Escanor. He's just so good. He's my favorite character from the series as well, so it also helps, right? It's good that both Escanors we have are good, so I'm hoping the next one we get is also going to be like fantastic. But enough of me rambling about Escanor. But me, you see how passionate I am about Escanor, and that alone should tell you that not summoning for Meliodas is the way to go. You might be, in a little bit of struggle for the Crimson Raid or Howlex, but it's just, how the progression in gacha games usually work. You sacrifice having an easy time with an activity for a few weeks, so, saving for the future if you are free to play, just how it is. By the way, I kind of despise the fact that they did this whole coin shop thing. On global, I'm known as a global hater, but the only actual thing that I think they've done bad, because all the other things they've done, like honestly they're doing pretty well, but the one thing I think they're doing bad is this coin shop banners, only because the banner leaves and you have to wait 2 weeks for the unit to be added to the coin shop. Like only this week Green Merlin was added to the coin shop, which I bought. It's like, why do I have to wait 2 weeks after the banner leaves as well, right? Not even after the banner is added, it's after the banner leaves. Like, when Red Escanor came out on GP, he was not only in a good banner with 3 other featured units, one of them being pretty good, which was Green Demon Melee, which I don't know when Global's gonna get that because he was a New Year's unit. He was also with Blue Jack, which was pretty good, and Red Elizabeth, which is trash, but he was a 4th unit in a banner. So, you weren't just summoning for him like these coin shop units, you were summoning for like 4 units. And he was already in the coin shop, discounted for 5 coins when he released. Like day 1, he came out, boom, he was discounted for 5 coins. And you could buy 2 copies of him discounted. It's like, why? It's just such an easy, thing to just make a good deal with the players. After these whole coin shop banners go away and this whole thing ends, I'm pretty sure global is gonna be much better. It's just, we're having this whole thing happening in the planet, which I say the name. If I say the name, YouTube is gonna suppress the video. But we're having this whole disease happening, and I know the global staff is not having the easiest time, managing a game that just came out. But it's just sour taste in my mouth. How they're handling these banners in specific. I liked how they did the Gopher banner, and I wish they did the Meliodas banner the same way. If you don't know, there was a leaked file in the game file. A leaked file in the game files. There was a leaked file of where is it? Where is it? Oh, the thumbnail right there is not for the Meliodas showcase, is it? I'm so confused right now. But, there it is. There was a leaked file for a banner of both Hellbrum and Demon Meliodas, and I was really hoping that it would have been the case. Yeah, it was this video right here. Let me show here. There was this leaked file, so they were probably planning on making Hellbrum and Demon Meliodas after they saw that, Gopher and Gala was a very successful banner, but they pulled out and just made Hellbrum a single banner and Demon Meliodas another single banner, which it would have been so much better if this was a banner and not you know, choose single units. But, you know, after this whole banner thing, I think that, you know, I respect the global staff. They're probably having issues with the whole disease thing, but yeah, that's it. I do recommend skipping the banner and saving for Escanor. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I recommend people doing.